Glad to have you guys back. We are going to do something really cool today. I got my buddy Jeff from Sandy Fire, and he is a captain over there and treats those people really well. Yesterday we were sitting around, we were doing some live fire training, some flashover training, and as firemen do when we get together, we start talking about all kinds of different things. Start talking about butts and talking about breasts and talking about loins, the whole thing. And Jeff came up with an idea that we needed to do a pork belly. So here we are.
So today what we're going to do is we're going to make some burn ends out of a pork belly. I've done this a couple times with the family. The family loves it. It actually is more of a treat than a dinner. So let's get started. What we've done is we've got this pork belly here. We're going to go ahead and make sure that it doesn't have the skin on it. If it does have the skin on it, typically the butcher will take the skin off for you. But we purchased this at Costco, and it doesn't have the skin on it. So what we'll do is we'll take it out of the package, bring it over here. We'll go ahead and put some mustard on it.
So why do you use mustard?
Well, first of all, I'll tell you what let's do. Let's grab me a knife, and ultimately this burnt end is going to be, we're going to cut these into, they're going to be bite sized. What we want to do is we want to slice this in about 1.5 to inch scores through the fatty side of it, like so. What this does is this helps get the smoke and the flavor excuse me, into the meat itself. But it'll also help us at the end product be able to cut them into our final bite-sized pieces.
I know you can buy this at either a full slab like we purchased, or you can buy it in just small pieces as well from the butcher.
So as you can see, we've got it scored. It opens up. My plan now is to cover it with mustard. The reason why I use mustard is that it acts as a binding agent. It helps with the seasoning that we're going to put on, and allows it to create a bark.
So some people don't like the flavor of mustard. Does that really make a difference with this?
You know, it's funny you say that because my wife absolutely despises mustard. She claims that it makes your toes grow backwards. Oh. That's what she told my kids growing up. But the mustard, the flavor cooks right off of it, and you never get a mustard flavor in the final product. So just a good coating like so.
It kind of binds everything together.
It does. All right, so now that we've got the pork belly covered in mustard, what I'll have Rick do is, let's go ahead and sprinkle some what are we going to use today?
We're going to use some Captain Rick Sweet Heat. It's a new spice that we just came out with. Has a really mellow sweetness to it, but with a little bit of kick. So that's going to be cool. Once again, I like to sprinkle, so
don't be afraid to get that pork belly covered up. The flavor will just enhance the final product. On these edges.
Yeah, we eat the edges, so we might as well season them.
Right. Okay. That thing good and covered. So the plan is, a lot like a pork butt, we're going to throw it on the smoker at 225 degrees. And we're going to smoke it to an internal temperature of 165 degrees. That 165 degrees, what we'll do is we'll take it off the smoker, we'll wrap it in foil, and we'll take it to 200 degrees. And what the trick about smoking is you never know how long this piece of meat's going to cook. Sometimes it takes 3 hours, sometimes it takes 8 hours, so that's why we're starting so early today. We'll get this smoked, we'll get it on. Once it's finished, once it hits that final temperature of 200, if we're not ready for dinner, what we can do is we can put it in a cooler and let it rest. And at that point, we'll I
think we'll be ready for dinner.
We'll be ready for dinner, absolutely.
All right, so we're ready to put this on the smoker. Jeff will open it up and you throw it on there. Anything we need to know about keep this thing smoking evenly?
Well, if you know your smoker, you know where the hot spots are, or whether or not they have hot spots. Some of them burn fairly evenly. So what we'll do is we'll stick our probe in. I like to put it in one of our fattier sections. Again, we'll run that temperature to 165. Once we hit 165, we'll pull it off, wrap it in foil, maybe put a pat or two of butter in it. What do you say?
There you go.
I like a little butter.
How about some apple juice? Do we need an apple juice spritz or anything?
Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Really,
Okay.
what smoking comes down to is what you want to do and what you prefer. Yeah, this is the technique that I've used. My family swears by it. I'll try it for you, and we'll see where we go from there.
Good deal.
But at this point, we'll close it up, run it to 165. What do you say?
Let's go golfing.
Tee 'em up.
Okay, Jeff, so our pork belly's been on here. It should be at about what temperature?
We've ran it for 5 hours now. We're sitting around 165.
Okay, so take it off. We're gonna wrap it now, right?
Yep, let's pull it off the grill and
Oh,
wrap it in
man.
foil.
Holy cow.
That's beautiful.
It'll be all right there.
Yep, that'll be perfect.
And why do we wrap this exactly?
The idea is to get it wrapped so that it will help speed up the process and get it through the stall, and it'll help us reach our 200 degrees a little quicker so that we're not cooking it all day.
So kind of wrap it up fairly tight, kind of keep the air in there and everything.
Yep, keep those juices sealed in.
I think I
Put
can
it back on?
Put it back on there. Do we don't need to put the probe back in, or
Oh,
do we?
let's put the probe in.
Okay,
We want to know when it hits
Wherever
200.
you want to put that at.
Slide it right in there, so. Perfect.
Perfect.
Okay.
Shut her down and
9 more holes.
9 more holes. Okay, Jeff, so we just brought the pork belly up from the smoker. I noticed we've wrapped it in a towel. Any purpose for wrapping that in the towel?
So once we get it to 200, we want to wrap it in a towel and let it rest. The idea of letting it rest, those juices absorb back in. We can maintain that, that actual cook temperature until it's time to eat. You'll notice now when we pull it off, it's going to be hot to the touch, but it's going to be so tender that it'll probably start to fall apart. That's why we want to put it in the air fryer and crisp it up.
All right, well, let's get it done. Let's pull this off and
Oh, look at those juices already. What did I just hear? Did I hear your belly growl?
Absolutely.
Smelling that good, isn't
Right.
it? All right, look at all those juices.
oh my gosh.
All right, let's just transfer it over here to the cutting board. Oh, look at that. Falling apart, falling apart. So you can see why it's so important that we made our cuts like we did this morning on those 1-inch marks.
Yeah, it kind of just falls apart onto those little cubes.
It did. So what we're going to do is follow those same cuts. Just like so.
So this morning we seasoned this with a rub of mustard, a real just normal mustard, and we also put a good heavy coating of Captain Rick's Sweet Heat, is what we actually call it.
Look at how those are just falling apart. You want to try one?
Oh,
Oh
yeah,
my gosh.
for sure. You took the fat.
Of course.
All right, so if you pull out that drawer on
so
the air fryer.
delicious.
So some of the ways you can do this, if you don't have an air fryer, you can always put them on a pan and stick them under your broiler. I know that some people have put them back on the smoker, but at this point I'm tired of waiting and I'm ready to eat. So I like the speed and the readiness of an air fryer.
So these are just kind of making like burn ends, like you would with a brisket or anything else.
You know what? That's exactly what they are. You know when you go to a barbecue joint and on the menu it says burn ends, eat them or order them while they last? It's because those are the most flavorful part of the brisket. What we're doing is we're taking pork belly, which is uncured bacon, and we're going to make our own burnt ends out of that. Now tell me, who doesn't like bacon?
Yeah, no kidding.
So how can these be bad?
And that's just gonna crisp them right up.
Yeah, so what that'll do is that'll take, as you can see that bacon texture? It'll crisp it up and make it crispy. We'll put it in. I'll tell you what, let's just go ahead and do it. Go ahead and slide that in. I'll wash my hands.
Move this out of the way for now.
Yes, please.
You guys stay out of it.
No promise.
Very doubtful.
All right. Let's run it up to 400. Let's do it for 10 minutes. Let's see what they look like.
Okay, so it looks like our air fryer is done now.
Okay, let's take a look
we
at
ready
them.
to pull them out?
Oh, those look beautiful.
Oh my gosh.
Crisped up just like we should, or we wanted them to.
Let me get you a bowl. Let's get this going.
All right. So the idea is we take these little bacon bites, crisp them up, but to add that, what do you say, coup de grace?
Yeah.
I like that word. What do you say we throw some barbecue sauce on them and turn them into those burnt ends? They'll be little sticky, sticky morsels of goodness.
So if you didn't like barbecue sauce, you could put any kind of sauce you wanted on there, right?
Oh, absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
If you wanted to heat it up a little bit, you could put some spicy sauce.
As you saw, everybody enjoyed them when we first took it off the smoker, so you could eat it then, you could eat it now with a little more crisp to it. My family's favorite is putting that barbecue sauce on it. So let's do this. Go ahead and give me some barbecue sauce in there.
You tell me when. I love barbecue sauce, so.
Let's mix that up and see how it goes. So the idea between this next phase is we'll probably run it just a little bit less time. What we want to do is just caramelize that sugar, and we don't want to run it too hot or too long, or else it'll burn it.
Start burning.
Yep. So as you can see, look at that.
Yeah, that's,
Oh, you smell that?
oh. Catch that vinegar from the barbecue sauce.
That's what we call money. So what I'll do is just transfer it back in.
Okay.
Let's run it for, say, 6 minutes.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay.
So that's just going to kind of make it kind of sticky and just caramelized, sugary.
Yes, sir.
I can't wait for the smell. I can't believe I've gone my whole life without having pork belly.
It's one of those hidden treasures, I would dare say. You see the smile on my face? I'm so excited right now. The hardest part is just waiting that last 6 minutes.
And make sure you get them all in there.
Let's take those back in.
Get back in for 6 more minutes.
Back in for 6 minutes. Let's run it up to the 400. And now obviously, depending on the brand of the
Air fryer.
air fryer, cook it longer, cook it less, depend on what works best for you.
Yeah, just have to try it a little bit so you don't overcook them or undercook
Absolutely,
them.
absolutely.
Wow, Jeff, I think I'm ready to go, whether these are ready to go or not. How about that? That's
Perfect
perfect.
timing.
Oh, look at those.
They just keep getting better.
All right, I'll tell you what, I'm through waiting. You through waiting?
No, I want some. That's
All right, serve it up, let's go. Take a look at those.
wow.
Get in my mouth.
Some of those right there in the middle.
All right.
Justin?
I'll give it to my wife here.
Perfect.
All right, you guys got some too?
Well, I'm gonna serve Cap up here first.
That'll be good right there. Perfect.
Okay.
Get some for yourself. Let's see how we do.
Looks hot.
Oh, it's good.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Ah, it's hot.
I learned from you guys. Oh, wait just a second.
Turned out good.
That is the best thing I put in my face in a while.
Lovely.
Well, thanks, Jeff, for showing us how to make pork belly.
Well, Cap, it's been a pleasure. I hope you enjoy it. You said you're gonna take it home and try it at home.
I will, yeah.
It's a family favorite of mine, and I'm glad to share it with you, so enjoy.
Thank you.
All right, Cap.